Let's go live. What's up, Wise Flyers? Welcome to the live stream of Which Card Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. So in this video, while I'm letting people join in the live stream, we're going to talk about which cards you should get first, which cards you should get next, and I'm going to go through this flowchart that I just made talking about which cards you should get first, which one's next. And earlier today, I actually put out a community post or a post on my community tab asking which cards people should get next. So I'm going to go through those questions as well as the reasoning behind why I would choose a card to go next. Hey, what's up, Dwayne from How to Build Credit TV. So, and then after that, for everyone watching, just ask as many questions as you like in the comments, and I'll get to those of which question or which cards you should get next. So, looks like I got some people going on in the live stream. Say hi, everybody. Throw some likes. Let me know that you're here. Let me know who's here. All right, ready to get started? All right, let's go. So, I'm gonna dive right into this and get started. So, let's go over, let me stand on this side actually. Let's go over this credit card flowchart which I created. So, if you guys could see this, let me know if this is good, if you guys could see it all right with me over here to the side. So, all right, so let's go over which cards you should get first, right? So if you're new to this, you definitely want to get the Chase credit cards first because of what something called the 524 rule. So 524 rule means that if you've opened 5 cards or more in the past 24 months, then you won't be eligible for any Chase credit card ever. It doesn't matter which card it is of Chase, any Chase card and every Chase card falls under the 524 rule now. It's really sad days because it never used to be like that. But yeah, banks are getting a lot more stricter with their rules and regulations for application approvals. So in this flowchart of credit cards, I'm going to go through some of the bank application rules. This way you kind of have an idea of which cards to get next if you're not sure. So let's, all right, so once you get the Chase cards, let's say you're getting started, you're wondering which cards you should get first. So I recommend going for the Chase Ultimate Reward Earning Points cards. So first ones you should get, if you don't want an annual fee card, you could go for the Chase Freedom. So I did abbreviations on here just so I could fit a lot of cards, as much information on here as possible. So we have the Chase Freedom or Chase Freedom Unlimited card. Both these cards are no annual fee and they earn Chase Ultimate Reward points. So if you want to get started and you kind of just want to dip your toes in the game, then these cards are really good to get first. But if you want to get those Chase Ultimate Reward points and start using them within a few months, then the Chase Sapphire Preferred card and Chase Sapphire Reserve card are definitely the cards you want to get. The big difference between these two cards is the Chase Sapphire Preferred card has an annual fee of $95 and the Chase Sapphire Reserve card has an annual fee of $450. But minus that $300 travel credit, it's basically $150. So it's basically between annual fees, it's a $55 difference between the two. And in terms of benefits, if you're going to travel 1 to 2 times per year, at least in the first year that you get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, then I'd recommend probably getting the Chase Sapphire Reserve just because you're going to get some really cool benefits like priority pass, lounge access in the airport, or global entry TSA pre-check. You get the cut to security line. I've had this card, Chase Sapphire Reserve, for about 3 years so far. I love it. If you aren't going to use those two benefits that I just said, then probably the Chase Sapphire Preferred card might be a better card to start out with. And you are not allowed to get 2 Sapphire cards at the same time. But you are allowed to get both the Chase Freedom and Chase Freedom Unlimited, and only in certain circumstances do I recommend getting both these. I think it's good to get. I think they're both good cards, but you only have 4 slots of your 524 slots, so you want to choose wisely. So after you get a Chase Ultimate Reward Point earning card, then so you would go to the Chase co-branded cards. But I put a little note here to the side in the flowchart of the Chase Ink cards. So we got the Chase Ink Preferred, Chase Ink Unlimited, and Chase Ink Cash. So these are the 3 Chase Ink cards. If you want to learn more in detail about those cards, I did a video the other day comparing these 3 cards, and also what I call the Chase Ink Thanos strategy, which is just my way of saying how to get approved for these 3 cards. You are allowed to get all 3, but I recommend if you want to learn how, watch that video. And it's Thanos in reference to the Avengers villain in those movies. So yeah, definitely check out that video if you want to learn more about the ink cards. I definitely recommend getting the ink cards if you can get a business card, because those ink cards are really valuable. You can get all 3 at the moment, so definitely get those in between getting your first Chase Ultimate Reward card. Get an ink card. You could get all 3 of these, kind of space it out. Now let's get to the co-branded cards with Chase. So we got the Chase United Explorer card. You have 3 Chase Southwest cards, personal cards, the Plus Priority Premier card. Then we have the IHG Premier card and the Chase World of Hyatt card. So these cards are the cards that you want to get next, right? You want to fill up your 4 slots of your 524, you know, with at least one of these. The ink cards, I forgot to mention that, they actually don't count towards your 524. So that's why you want to get these first. Any personal card does count for your 524. So I think these are the 4 best personal cards. Now, you may be wondering, what if you want to get the Chase Southwest Companion Pass? That's a good question. So that would kind of change your whole strategy here. You'd want to get the Chase Southwest card, one of the personal cards with Southwest first, and then go for the business card, because if you get 1 personal, 1 business Chase Southwest card, at the moment they're both offering 60,000 point sign-up bonuses. So if you get both those cards, you more than reach that 110,000 threshold to get the Southwest Companion Pass. So you just need 110,000 Southwest points, and with 2 Southwest cards, you got it. So that's my little take on that if you were going to change your strategy. If you guys are following along, let me know, comment below, or comment on this video. If you guys are still in the live chat, let me know if you're following along with this. So what do you do after you get the co-branded cards? So what you can do, before you fill up all of your 524 slots, you could actually get some other business cards as well. So business cards actually don't count towards the 524 rule, except the Capital One, Discover, and TD Bank cards. So those actually do count towards your 524 slots. So you got to be careful not to apply for the Capital One Spark card or Discover business cards. So be very careful there when you're getting the business cards. Now, but you can get other business cards like Citi Advantage Platinum Select Business Card, which is currently offering 70,000 American Airline Mile bonus. So cards like that, you kind of want to mix in between the co-branded cards, and you could kind of fit those in here, right, before you hit your 524 slots. Then, what do you do once you reach your 524 capacity, right? So you're at 524, what do you do next? What's the best card? So I think a lot of people, what they think intuitively is to go for American Express cards, because you got the American Express Gold card, the American Express Platinum card, which are great cards, but if you're a little patient and you do this right with the right strategy, you could save those for later on in the game, because American Express down here isn't too concerned about how many inquiries you've had. They don't really have like a 524 type of rule. So that's why after the 524 slots are filled, I think the best card to get is the Barclays Rival Plus card, because this card has a 624 rule. So similar to the Chase 524 rule, Barclays Rival Plus card, if you've opened 6 cards or more in the past 24 months, you won't be approved for the Barclays Rival Plus card. So that's the reason why I think you should go for the Barclays Rival Plus card after your 524 slot is filled. And at the moment, it's a 70,000 arrival mile sign-up bonus, but when you complete the minimum spending of $5,000 in 3 months, you get 2 points or 2 arrival miles per dollar spent, which gives you $800, so or 80,000 arrival miles, which is equal at 1 cent per point of $800. So if you want to do some Airbnb or cruise or get some Disney tickets at undercovertourist.com, that's where the Barclays Rival Plus card will definitely help you out. So I think after 524, we're going to get the Barclays Rival Plus card. Then after that, I think there are 2 bank cards that you should get, that you should go for next. It would be the US Bank, because US Bank cards are hard to get. Usually need to have an account, like a checking account. Sometimes there's a $300 sign-up bonus for the checking account with the US Bank. Then after that, I recommend getting the Altitude Reserve card with US Bank. That's a hard card to get, and if you could get that earlier on in the game, you're in good standing. Or, I would say the Citi cards. So Citi has a rule called the 6-6 rule, which means if you've had 6 credit card inquiries in the past 6 months, you won't be approved for any of their cards. And some of the good cards that Citi has would be the Citi Advantage Platinum Select card, which is currently offering a sign-up bonus of 60,000 American airline miles, the Citi Premier, the Citi Prestige. So you got to pay attention to the 6-6 rule. And I just want to pause for a second. If you are new to credit cards, it may sound completely absurd why you would get so many credit cards in such a short amount of time. Like getting 6 credit card inquiries in 6 months, it may sound crazy, but if you want to get a lot of free travel and you want to experience the world, you could do it in first class, business class, or stretch out those miles in economy class, or get really nice hotel rooms for free. This is the strategy to do so. And you know, if you're new to cards, let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy for talking about how many cards you should get in such a short amount of time. But if you are into this, you know, let me know as well. So once you get the Citi cards, then you know, you get these cards. You don't have to get all 3 of them. Also, this is just kind of like a brief overview of which cards to get, and you don't have to follow this completely by the card. But if you want to maximize each card from each bank to make sure that you're able to get it, because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and apply for these cards down here and then realize that there's such thing as a 524 rule and you can't get any chase cards, right? So that's kind of the logic behind this, the logic and reasoning. So then after the Citi cards, you know, then I would go for the American Express cards, the Bank of America cards, the Capital One cards. So then this is a good time to get the American Express Gold card or the Platinum card. Or you could get the Bank of America Travel Rewards card, the Alaska Airlines card with Bank of America, or the Capital One Venture card. I save Capital One for last because personally I don't really like Capital One too much. I think they're just not a good, their points are okay, even though they have transfer partners now. I still think they're not fully there yet. So I would save Capital One at the very end, even though they market probably the hardest out of all the credit cards. A lot of people know Alec Baldwin, Jennifer Gardner, what's in your wallet, right? I think it's all a bunch of hype. I think if you go for all of these cards first, then you'll be in good standing. Save Capital One for last. All right, so let me know if you guys have any questions on this flow chart. If you guys are just joining in the chat, I just did, the fan got in the way. I just did kind of a flow chart of which cards you should get first, which cards next. So I'll answer some of your comments, or actually first, let me get to some of the questions that I was asked earlier on the community post. So yeah, definitely Tyler T, ask those questions. I'll get to them in a little bit. Let me just pull up the questions. All right, so first question is by, or was by, hold on one second. All right, so we got Daniel Garcia, who commented on the post. He said, I have the Chase Sapphire preferred card, Chase Inc. preferred card, and Chase Inc. cash card. We corrected it, he said CIB. Should I downgrade the Chase Sapphire preferred card to the Freedom and the Chase Inc. preferred card and Chase Inc. cash down card, or upgrade to, all right, so basically this might sound a little confusing. Daniel, if you're still watching, comment, let me know you're still here. So I just want to get through this. So he has a few of the Chase Ultimate Reward Card personal cards. He's wondering if he should upgrade his Chase Sapphire or downgrade his Chase Sapphire preferred card to a Freedom card, and then, or upgrade his Chase Sapphire preferred card to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card and cancel the Chase Inc. preferred card the following year. I don't know if I said that right, if I'm confusing you, let me know, I could clarify. Basically, what this comes down to is, do you keep the Chase Inc. preferred card and pay the annual fee of $95, or do you keep or upgrade the Chase Sapphire preferred card to the Chase Sapphire Reserve card and pay $450 annual fee, right? So it comes down between the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Chase Inc. preferred. If I were to choose between the two, if you're going to travel and want to take advantage of priority pass lounge access in airports or global entry TSA pre-check, then I would say go for the Reserve. If you want cell phone insurance, then the Chase Inc. preferred card is probably the one for you. But in this scenario, I would say go for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and you could not use the Chase Inc. preferred card in this scenario. You want to keep the Chase Inc. cash because that one has no annual fee. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know in the comments below, and if you want, I could clarify that for you and see if if that makes sense what I just asked. All right, so next question is from Mrs. NYC. She asked the Chase World of Hyatt card versus Hilton Ascend card. So if you are able to get the Chase World of Hyatt card, if you're under 524, then definitely get the Chase World of Hyatt card first. Then I would get the Hilton Ascend card. So my logic with credit cards is, I referred to my video I did the other day of the Chase Inc. Thanos strategy. So Thanos is the villain from the Avengers. He's trying to collect all the Infinity Stones to rule the universe and do some crazy stuff with those powers, right? His philosophy is do whatever it takes to get all those stones, and number one, get all those stones. I feel the same way about credit cards. I'll do whatever it takes to get all of the credit cards, and I want all of the credit cards, right? And so there's one thing I want to show you. If you guys want to see my credit score in the live stream right now, comment in the live chat. I'll show you, I'll pull up my credit score in Credit Karma right now and show you what my credit score is after opening 47 cards. If I don't get any comments on that, then I won't do it. But let me know. If you guys are watching and you want to see my credit score, let me know. So regarding Hyatt versus Hilton Ascend, Hilton Ascend definitely has more perks. I would say both, but definitely get the Hyatt card first. All right, so Daniel Garcia also asked Gold card versus Platinum card. So the American Express Gold card versus the American Express Platinum card. Which should you get? You can get both. The Platinum card is only for specific people. I feel like a lot of people get the Platinum card but don't fully use all of its benefits. It has a ton of travel credits. You get Hilton Diamond status, you get access to Centurion Lounge. But if you're going to be using the Platinum card to buy groceries, at 1 point per, or 1 point per dollar, getting membership reward points, then it's not really worth it. Or if you're going to just maybe take a trip a year and not even take full advantage of that card, then the Platinum card isn't worth it. It doesn't matter how many benefits it's offering. If it's not going to help you get a bunch of free travel, then I don't think it's worth it. Gold card as well. I think the gold card has a lot of benefits. Personally, it doesn't suit my lifestyle. I'm not going to take advantage of those food credits, $10 a month, which I honestly, I think it's kind of ridiculous that they make it $10 a month. Why not $120 up front? This way you could take advantage of the food, food credits in one shot. So I think the gold card has its benefits. Definitely the 4% multiplier categories are definitely worth going for, compared to the platinum card, which you're only getting 5 points per dollar spent on travel. And the issue with that is that there's no travel protection. So yes, you're getting 5 points per dollar spent on the platinum card for travel, but you're not protected for delays or anything like that. All right, so moving on, and then I'll get to your questions. Keep asking questions, and I'll get to them. So Justin Larson asks, or says, I currently have the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I was thinking about getting the Freedom Unlimited or the Hyatt. Which one would you recommend, or should I go for something different? So have the Chase Sapphire Preferred already. Should you get the Freedom Unlimited or the Hyatt card? So assuming you're under 524, I would go for, so this depends. Personally, I would go for the Hyatt card just because you're getting a lot of value there. You're getting, currently it's a 50 point sign-up bonus for the Chase World of Hyatt card, and you're getting an anniversary award night every year. Chase Freedom Unlimited is great. You're getting 3% on everything, which is awesome. For the first year, up to $20,000. So you could if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, you're going to earn more Chase Ultimate Reward points with the Chase Freedom Unlimited card at restaurants or with travel. So I would say you could get both, of course. I would say go for the Hyatt card first. I think that one is more valuable and will be better for the long term. Chase Freedom Unlimited is good for the short term. You get 3% just for the first year. So with that, I would say go for the Hyatt card first, then the Chase Freedom Unlimited, and try to mix in some business cards if you can. The ink cards I think are really good to get. All right, so that concludes the questions from the community post that I had today.
Yeah, I use my mobile phone for
Oh wow, so I'm trying to get to my live stream on this phone so I could see. This is kind of weird. All right, so see how there's like a little delay? All right, so I'm gonna get to these questions, pull up the live chat. All right, but before, I saw a couple of people saying that they wanted to see my credit score. So I opened 47 credit cards. Not all of them are open right now. Let me pull it up on my computer, my Credit Karma account. I only have, I think it's 12 cards open right now. So let me go into my Credit Karma. Usually I just use my phone to check Credit Karma app, but since I'm using my phone for the live stream, I'm going to use the computer. So it's just logging in now. All right, while that's going, all right, so here, let me show you my credit score after opening 47 cards and why I think this is a really good strategy. If you're just joining, this is the credit card flow chart I did before. And so I think that, getting cards in a certain order, getting a lot of cards, more than most people are comfortable with, as long as you follow the right strategies, follow the bank application rules and restrictions the right way, you can still keep getting cards. So before I show my credit score after opening 47 cards, I just want to hear some guesses, what you think it's at. If you've seen my credit, I've shown my credit score before on this channel, but give me some guesses before I show that score, and I'll get to one other question. I'll get to a question first. In the meantime, I just want to see some guesses of what you think my credit score is before I reveal it. So let's get to a question here that was asked in the live chat. All right. Is there a downgrade path to the Barclays card? So, uh, Tyree T asks, is there a downgrade option for the Barclay Arrival Plus card? Yes, there is. It's not advertised, or it's not, I don't think it's public, but you can call up Barclay Rival Plus card. At the moment, I'm kind of drawing a blank of what the card is called. But yes, there is an option to downgrade the Barclay Rival Plus card, which has an annual fee of $89. You can downgrade it to the no annual fee version of that card. You would just call up and just say you want to downgrade it. That's a pretty simple task. All right, so we got some guesses here. Actually, I shouldn't. My wife said that it's really weird when I touch the screen. So that's why I got this when she watched my last live stream. All right, so I have a few guesses of what my credit score is. I'm about to reveal my credit score after opening 47 cards. Tyree T says 820. Hip to the Dip says 745. All right, so here is my Credit Karma account. I don't know if you can see it. So I got an with TransUnion, it's an 821 and an 817 with Equifax. So yeah, these are my credit scores at the moment. I had a nice little bump. Not really sure why. My TransUnion went up 5 points. My Equifax went up 9 points. But yeah, for the most part, it's been above 800 for a while. And actually, you know what? Let me show you really quick that I opened up, you know, all the cards that I said. Where is it? Hold on 1 second. Let me just pull that up. All right, so if we look here, it says total account 43. So it's not accounting for all of the cards that I opened, but as you see, 43 accounts opened. And I scroll up, 821 is my credit score. So that one's for TransUnion. So that's just to kind of prove a point that if you do this the right way, that your credit score could still be high in the 800s after dozens of credit cards, and as long as you follow the right strategies, you could still keep getting approved for more credit cards. I know to some people it may seem outrageous to get that many credit cards, but if you watch my channel, I've taken a lot of trips around the world with my family as well as solo. So yeah, all the cards, more points, more free travel pretty much. All right, let's get to another question here. All right, Todd Davis says, I'm relatively new. The hard part for me to come to terms with is the annual fees I used to avoid I used to avoid all fees. Now I pay the $450 for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Yeah, so I think if you're just getting started with credit cards, it's kind of insane to have to pay an annual fee of $450. It does sound crazy if you were to approach anybody who maybe has 1 or 2 cards in their wallet, or if you go to any Dave Ramsey fan and say that you're going to pay $450 for an annual fee on a credit card, they think you're crazy. But with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you're getting a ton of value. I've paid $450 for, I think it's 3 years now, and I've gotten a lot more value than that $450 annual fee. So yeah, annual fees could be a little tough to get over, but once you see the value, it's more of an investment that you're paying into and getting a big return, assuming you're able to use all the benefits. All right, let's see what else we got. Yeah, Hip to the Dip just asked, or just said, oh my God, 47 cards, are they all open accounts? No, so out of the 47 cards that I opened, I only have 12 that are, out of 47 cards, 12 that are open at the moment. The other ones were either downgraded, or in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. I closed a lot of cards. Not the best thing to do. You don't want to just cancel cards. So I did make some mistakes in the beginning, but I do have 12 cards that are open now. You can consolidate with certain banks, kind of transfer the credit limit over to certain cards, and that kind of essentially closes out the card. But you still get to keep your credit utilization the same. So let's see. Hip to the Dip says, maybe this isn't too funny though, but Hip to the Dip says the only thing I've used my platinum card for in the last 2 years is to pay the $550 annual fee. Yes, I think that's a mistake. And Hip to the Dip, you're not the only one. I've come across a lot of people who pay the annual fee for the platinum card, specifically the platinum card. 500 will used to be $450, now it's $550 year after year after year, and not get the benefits. For some reason, the platinum card has that type of prestige or status. It's almost like a status symbol. Not saying that you got it for that, but I think a lot of other people get it for that status symbol. You know, got the platinum card, and they're not even using a tenth of the benefits that are with that card. Personally, I don't have the platinum card because I'm not able to use all the benefits yet. I have a 10-month-old daughter, and I feel like we're not really in the full swing of things yet, even though we've been to 4 countries this year, 3 or 4 countries, taken a few trips. I don't feel like I'm able to use all the benefits yet. So I'm gonna hold out until I get that 100,000 point sign-up bonus for the platinum card. I've tried the card match tool a bunch of times. If you don't know, current sign-up bonus is 60,000 for the platinum, and you could get the 100,000 point sign-up bonus for the platinum card if you use the card match tool. I'll put a link down in the description below after this live video. But yeah, if you're gonna pay the annual fee on a card, especially like the platinum, make sure you're using all the benefits. All right, what else we got here? Guys, keep asking your questions. I'll definitely get to them. LaShonda Bryson says, would you pair the Chase Sapphire Reserve and City Premier, or the Chase Sapphire Preferred and City Prestige, and why? Great question. So, yes, there are some overlaps between the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Well, so basically here you want to take advantage of the spending multipliers, right? Like with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get 3 points per dollar spent on restaurants and travel. You know, with the Prestige, you're getting better cell phone multipliers there. So this is a good question. I would say Chase Sapphire Preferred. Well, so the City Prestige and the Chase Sapphire Reserve are offering a lot of the same benefits. So the Prestige also has a annual fee of $450. So you're kind of getting the same combination there, which I think is a great combination to have, to get City Thank You points with either the City Premier or Prestige, and get Chase Ultimate Reward points with either the Chase Sapphire Reserve or Preferred. And the best strategy here would be to get like, you want to make sure that you're getting, for your spending categories, what you're going to spend on. If you go to restaurants, a certain amount, you know, you're going to want to make sure that you're able to transfer those points over to transfer partners, right? So I would say, in this case, I would pair the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the City Prestige together. All right, Lance Johnson asks, does Chase business cards are part of the 524 rule now? Also, do you need to report them to the IRS? So Chase business cards are a part or fall under the 524 rule, meaning that if you've opened, or you won't be eligible to open Chase Inc. business cards if you are over 524. They don't count towards your 524, meaning that if you open up all 3 Chase Inc. business cards, you won't be able, or they won't count towards your 524, right? So it's either it counts towards your 524 or falls under the 524 rule. So all Chase cards fall under the 524 rule. Chase Inc. cards won't count towards your 524 rule. Hope that answers your question, if I explained that right. Also, do you need to report the cards to the IRS, the chasing business cards Lance is referring to. You don't have to report the chasing business cards to the IRS. The only thing you have to report to IRS is how much money you're making. Yeah, the only thing you report to IRS is income. All right, Tyree T, debating on whether to get Barclays Rival Plus card or Capital One Venture card. Any opinions? Yes, so depending on where you're at. So for everyone just joining in, I just did a credit card flow chart of which cards to get next. So, I ran through which banks are best, kind of talking about, which rules are in place. So after you fill up your 524, which is right here, what do? I think the Barclays Rival Plus card is definitely the best card to get, answering your question, just because they have the 624 rule, similar to the 524 rule, and I think you're getting a better sign-up bonus. You are getting a better sign-up bonus than the Capital One Venture card, which is 50,000 venture miles, and the Barclays Rival Plus card is, after the minimum spending, is 80,000 arrival miles. It's confusing how they both call them miles, but they're basically points. You're getting 1 cent per point. If you're going to redeem them for travel, Capital One does have transfer partners, although you're not getting the best redemption rate or transfer ratio for the Capital One Venture partners. So I don't really think, if I were to choose between the Barclays Rival Plus and Capital One Venture, definitely the Barclays Rival Plus card. All right, Procrastination Productions. Can you talk more about canceling the card without canceling it with balance transfers? All right, so without balance transfers. All right, so I think you might be referring to when you transfer the credit limit from one card to another, right? So let's use the example of a Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which is, so even though I love the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, I've had it for many years, I think it's a great card, it's given me a lot of value, but I'm ready to get other cards that are going to offer Priority Pass and TSA or Global Entry, as well as other benefits, right? So I would say, so for that example, Chase Sapphire Reserve card has a $450 annual fee. Let's say you want to not pay that annual fee anymore, right? Let's say you have a $10,000 credit limit on the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. What you could do, the simplest and easiest option, is to call up the bank and say, hey, I want to downgrade my Chase Sapphire Reserve card to a Chase Freedom card or a Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And either the Chase Freedom or Chase Freedom Unlimited card both have no annual fees. So that's a way of not paying the annual fee for the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but you are forfeiting a lot of benefits. You're not going to be able to transfer those Chase Ultimate Reward points to transfer partners. So that's one thing to keep in mind, but if the annual fee is a big concern, then you could downgrade it. There's a lot of downgrade options. Chase United Explorer card has a downgrade option of no annual fee. So I think that's the best option, to downgrade it. Or even before you ask to downgrade it, you could ask to have the fee waived and see if they do that. Say I was a good customer, I paid all my bills on time, no late payments or anything like that. I use the card regularly. I would love to have the annual fee waived. In some language like that. I have a PDF on that of exactly what to say. Or they may offer a retention bonus, so you could do the math to see when it's worth it to take the retention bonus, if it's worth it to do that, or you could downgrade it. And worst case scenario, you could cancel it, although the consequences of canceling a card is that your overall credit limit between all your cards are going to drop, therefore your credit utilization drops. Credit history is affected as well. So yeah, be careful when canceling cards. So that's kind of the process of how to do so. So Carolyn Haney, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. All right, so one of my cards is Sears MasterCard with thank you rewards. I'm always activating their offers for 5x or 10x, then using those for travel on their portal. What do you think? Yeah, if that suits your travel, if you're getting a lot of value with that, then I think it's okay. I think it's okay to use your Citi Thank You points or Chase Ultimate Reward points or American Express membership reward points. You don't always have to transfer it. If you're getting value through the portal, and in this case you're getting a 5% return or 10% return, I think that's totally fine. It's justifiable. I think that's fine what you're doing. All right, pick one: Capital One Venture or Citi Premier. Because I don't really like Capital One that much, and in this case I think it's definitely inferior to the Citi Premier, I would definitely say Citi Premier card. So Citi Premier card has the option to transfer to transfer partners with Citi Thank You points, but it's at a 1-to-1 ratio. Capital One is not a 1-to-1 ratio. You're actually losing anytime you were transferred to partners. If we're going to talk about other ongoing benefits, I think a Citi Premier is definitely better. Citi is a much better card to get. Capital One, I really don't like Capital One in general. I don't think they are as good as people say, or as good. I think the reason why people are talking about Capital One is because of all their marketing and advertising and commercials. I think that's the only reason why people are still talking about Capital One. So yeah, if I were to choose, I would definitely say Citi Premier over Capital One. All right, guys, you guys are still watching. Hit that like button. So we got 34 people watching the live right now. Yeah, definitely keep asking questions. So, all right, so LaShonda Bryson asked, what is the break-even point on a credit card? People always go back and forth about if the annual fee is worth it. So this depends. This depends on you personally, how much you're traveling, how much you're using the benefits of the card. With I guess the break-even point, I would say, it's personal. You would have to do the math, right? So there's a few different variables there. If you're earning a certain amount of points per dollar spent, then you could do the calculation there and see how much. I think there's two main factors here: points that you're earning, your earning potential, as well as your redemption potential. So between the two, I would say between earning potential, redemption potential, once you calculate that, as well as other benefits that are with the card, like travel protection, that's really good. If you have, if you do rental cars and it has a primary CDW or collision damage waiver, and if you rent cars a lot, that could save you a lot of money. Even though it's insurance, you're not really getting that money back, but if there were ever an accident, that would cover you as well. So if you lay out all the benefits of a card and see if it's worth the annual fee, I think that would be the way to do it. I don't recommend just paying the annual fee to keep your points alive and to keep them from expiring. The reason why, I think that's what a lot of people do too. I'm not saying it's you, but a big mistake that people do is they pay the annual fee thinking that you're, you have to keep the points from expiring, which isn't true. You could, there are other ways to keep your points from expiring. Like, for example, the Citi Advantage Platinum Select Card for American Airline miles. It has a $99 annual fee. You don't have to pay that annual fee year after year in order to keep your American Airline miles from expiring. You, if there's no activity in your American Airlines account, you have 18 months from the last time there's activity, whether miles going in or out or a trip or anything like that. You have 18 months until those miles expire. One way to get around that is if you downgrade your Citi Advantage Platinum Select Card to a Mile Up card, then that's one way to keep your miles and you don't have to pay the annual fee. So I just want to give that one tip there. All right, so Flashpoint Capital, right? Jay, so Jay from Flashpoint Capital Definitely check out his channel. He's got some great content talking about credit cards and stuff. New channel, it's awesome. Yeah, so Bonvoy versus Aspire versus Hyatt. Another great question. So Bonvoy, so talking about the Marriott Bonvoy, the Hilton Aspire, or the World of Hyatt card. So if we're gonna compare benefits, the Aspire definitely wins. You know, the Aspire is has definitely the best benefits that you could get. Chase World of Hyatt card, like I would say the Bonvoy and the Hyatt are kind of on the same tier. If we're going to talk about the anniversary award night, with the Bonvoy, it's at hotels of 35,000 Marriott points or less. With the Hyatt, it's category 4 or less, right? So I would say Bonvoy and Hyatt are almost, I would say the Hyatt is a little better than the Bonvoy, right, in terms of ongoing benefits. With the Aspire is on another level. You know, you're getting lounge access, you're getting, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, it's gold status with the Aspire card at Hyatt. So you're getting a ton of benefits with the Aspire. So I would say definitely Aspire card. Sweet Credit. Love that name. What is the best hotel card to go between Chase IHG, Chase World of Hyatt, or the Hilton cards? That's so funny. That's kind of like what I was talking about. So Hilton cards, I would say for later. So to go back to my flowchart, which I'm really proud of. Okay, Edwin says, yeah, Aspire is diamond status, right? So yeah, you can't be diamond status. That's top of the line. Before I get to this, once you get diamond status with Hilton, you could do a chain of events and get a bunch of other status matching. You could get Wyndham status, Wyndham Diamond, then Caesars, and then it kind of goes on. Ocean, you could get like a ton of statuses just when you get Hilton Diamond status. So yeah, Aspire is on another level when it comes to that. So what was the question I was asked? Oh yeah, so Hilton cards versus IHG or Hyatt, right? So this is the credit card flow chart I was talking about before. I made this earlier. So Hilton cards I would put down here. So this is kind of the order of what I think. You don't have to follow this order at all, but I think if you want to maximize the amount of credit cards you could get with certain banks, then this is the order, right? You want to get your Chase cards first, then kind of go down, you mix in the ink cards, you mix in some other business cards if you could get business cards. So I would say definitely get the IHG and Hyatt first. I personally have the IHG and the Hyatt card, and I love it. I love those cards. I think it's well worth the annual fee to pay every year. I actually have the old IHG, so I'm only paying $49 a year at the moment. So yeah, regarding that, I would say get the IHG and the Hyatt cards first, then get the Hilton cards later if you really want to maximize. Now, if we're talking about benefits between the cards, Hilton cards, there's multiple Hilton cards compared to the, there's only one IHG, well actually there are multiple IHG cards, but yeah, so I would say get those Chase cards first, IHG and Hyatt, then go for the Hilton cards later. Hilton cards have a lot more benefits. As I just said in the example before, the Aspire card, you know, it's top notch, and you can get all the Hilton cards. So, what's the best credit card for free hotel stays? So I did a video on this, I think like a week or two ago, talking about, excuse me, hold on. This is a live, so I'm not used to talking for 50 minutes straight. If you guys are still watching, I really appreciate you joining in on the live stream. I know you guys could be doing a ton of other things right now, but you're spending time with me, and I really do appreciate that. Also, fun fact, today or tomorrow would be 10 months of me being on YouTube since I started my YouTube channel. I started it July 23rd, just 3 weeks after my daughter was born. My daughter was born on July 1st. So that's kind of how I keep track of how many months I've been on YouTube. So yeah, tomorrow is my 10th. Well, tomorrow, the 23rd, May 23rd, will be my 10th month on YouTube, which is pretty cool. It's been a really exciting journey. I love it. I love all you guys. You know, I really appreciate the support. So yeah, let's get back to this. So, best credit card for hotel stays. So yeah, I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago. So for free nights, like free night certificates, I would say Hyatt, you get a lot of value there. Just because the in order to redeem the award night or the free night certificates, it's at category 4 or lower. And Hyatt definitely has the best value more than any other card. So yeah, I would say Hyatt has one of the best. I kind of, in that video, I kind of go through all of them. I go through Hyatt, Hilton, IHG, Marriott, even Radisson cards. So I kind of go through all those cards, 11 different hotel cards. Definitely check out that video. I'll link in the description after this live stream. All right, so Tyree T, is it hard to get the Barclays Rival Plus card? And yes, I'm done with Chase 524. I don't think it's hard to get the Barclays Rival Plus card. They do have a 624 rule, which isn't as strictly enforced as the Chase 524 rule. Yeah, it's in place, but it doesn't always work. It's not cut and dry. Chase is 524 rule is pretty much cut and dry. Like there's no way around it. Barclays, I've seen people get around it and read about it. Get around that 624 rule. So if you are still under, or if you're just over 524, yeah, I would say Barclays Rival Plus card, go for it, see what happens. All right, so Procrastination Productions. What would you suggest is the best method of opening cards as a married couple? Opening the same cards to double up on bonuses or attack different types of cards? Great question. So this is kind of also referred to as player 2 mode. This is what I do with my wife. We're always getting new cards every 3 to 6 months or so. Just been a lot of stuff going on these past few months. We moved into a new house. We've been traveling, and I've been waiting to get this one card, which I think I might have gotten, and I'm really excited to tell you about it soon. So when you have a travel partner or wife, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, whoever you're traveling with, right? I think the best strategy would be to go for the same bonuses, right? Especially if it's airlines, like if you wanted to get the Chase United card each, because it'll make it a lot easier when you're booking flights. So if you're going to go for airline cards, I think you should get the airline cards at the same time. You could kind of space it out a couple of months, right? So if you get the City Advantage Platinum Select card for American Airline Miles now, which is at a 60,000 American Airline Miles sign-up bonus, you get that now, and let's just say your travel partner gets that same card maybe a month later. So it's easier to complete the minimum spending between you both. You have kind of like a month buffer before, so there's no pressure in having to do twice the amount of minimum spending. So when it comes to airline cards, I would say try to get those close together. When it comes to hotel cards, you could kind of space those out a little more because you could use hotel points. Like you're not paying for one person when you redeem hotel nights, hotel award nights, right? You could fit up to 4 people, more people in a hotel night. So hotel cards, you could space out a little more between the two, but eventually you want to get both hotel cards. Like my wife and I, we both have the Chase World of Hyatt card. We have the Chase IHG cards. So for example, we went to Key West, I think it was last month or so, and we both redeemed our free award nights at the IHG Intercontinental La Concha Hotel in Key West. So we were able to both get 2 nights in a row because she used her award night, I used mine. You book it online, it's really easy. Then you just call up and make sure that you're in the same room for both nights, right? It's really simple thing to do, to just call up and do that. Then you just, yeah, so that would be hotel nights. Yeah, so I would say kind of space it out that way. All right, as you can see, guys, I'm kind of running out of steam here. I feel like my energy just kind of dropped a little bit. This is good though. I'm happy you guys are still with me. Alright, so Carl from Nebraska, when you get a new card, do you usually use that card only until you hit the minimum spending, then go to others with a high percent, like for fuel or special area, that till the next card comes? Yeah, so my strategy, I think that's a great question, right? So let's say you get a new card, you have to complete the minimum spending. Me, I think it's more important to complete the minimum spending than to get like a 2 or 3% return, right? So I use my cards, my wife and I use our cards that we're going to complete the minimum spending for everything. Every purchase we're putting to get that minimum spending complete as soon as possible. And then after that, then you could use your higher your higher earning card, higher percentage earning cards, right? So like if you have the American Express Blue Cash Prefer card, which earns 6% at grocery stores, right? So if you have that card in your wallet, but then let's just say you get another card where you need to complete $4,000 in 3 months minimum spending. If this is kind of hard for you to do, you want to put all your spending on that card where you're completing the minimum spending. Then after you complete the minimum spending where it makes sense, then you would go back to buying your groceries at US supermarkets with the American Express Blue Cash Prefer card, right, to get that 6%. And you want to make sure that you're still using that card that you completed the minimum spending with. You don't want to just put it away in your sock drawer and forget about it until the annual fee comes. You want to make some purchases at least once a month, because when you do this, it's all about creating a good relationship with the bank. If they see that you open a card just for the sign-up bonus, you complete the minimum spending, then you don't put any spending on it for the rest of the year, then 11 months come and then you want to call up and do something about the annual fee, they're not really going to like it that much. You're more likely to get approved for more cards, or they're willing to bend on the annual fee with you if you show that you're kind of a regular customer. That's what they want. They want you to be a customer, to use their card. They're throwing all this money at you because they're hoping that you use the card, that maybe you pay some interest on the card. But as we all know, never pay interest on a card, never get in debt, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing a bunch of responsible spending. And if you pay all your bills in full every single month, then you're getting ahead, right? But you still want to create that good relationship with the bank so that they approve you for more cards. So hope that answered your question. All right, so we got 37 people on this live stream right now. That's the most I've ever had ever, which is pretty exciting. So if you guys are just joining, comment below, let me know what you think about this live stream. I did a credit card flowchart before, talking about which cards you should get and in what order. I also showed my credit score as well. Got a little personal, showed what my credit score is after 47 cards. So, Kevin Curtis asked, how old are you and what age did you start opening cards? Alright guys, this is my cue that it's time to wrap it up soon. So 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna wrap it up. This is my daughter Kalea, by the way. So Kalea is 10 months old, and as I was mentioning before, my channel, look over here, Kalea, say hi. My channel is 9 months old today. Tomorrow it'll be 10 months old. So I kind of use my daughter as a point of reference to see how old my channel is, because I kind of forget. Hey. Yeah, so, all right, so Kevin Curtis asked, how old are you? So take a guess. Take a guess how old I am. Everyone watching, let me know. I'll answer in like a minute how old I am. Second question is, at what age did you start opening cards? That's another good question. So I actually didn't open any cards for a while, just because I was afraid of getting in debt. I was you know, kind of like most people, maybe even you watching, thought that, you know, opening cards would, I don't know, what you would wind up in debt. You hear all the horror stories, credit cards equal debt. So I didn't open any. I think I opened my first card when I was maybe 24 or 25. Hey, hey, excited? Yeah. So Jay from Flashpoint Capital thinks I'm 35. Kind of close. Makes me feel kind of weird because I still feel like I'm in my 20s, but I'm not in my 20s. I'm in my 30s. Ivan Cool says 33. That's a good guess. Yeah, I think that's kind of my cue to leave. So, to answer your question, I am 33 years old. Ivan Cool got it. All right. So, one more question I'll get to. 44 Foo. I love that name. So this is great. Do you truly get 5 Chase personal cards before bailing? I'm 324, have 3 Chase business, and I'm itching to move on. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. If you have the business cards, you got some good Chase personal cards, then I would say, yeah, you could move on if you don't really have any value in like the co-branded cards, right? So we got like the co-branded cards here. The United, the Southwest, the IHG, pointing like right over here. Cool, right? Yeah, so if you don't have any value in getting those, you don't have to get them. You know, you just don't want to regret it later on. When you're past 524, you don't want to think like, oh, I should have gotten those cards before. Yeah, all right, so this is my other daughter.
Hi.
This is my cue. Yeah.
Wise Flyers.
Yeah, Wise Flyers, exactly. So yeah, I got the whole family in here now.
Not the whole family.
Not the whole family. Mom is not here. You're right. Yeah. So I think that'll conclude questions for the night. I got my daughters in here now. It was an hour and 3 minutes. Got 31 people still watching. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you got a lot of value. If you did get a lot of value out of this video, hit that like button.
Yeah,
it really helps out.
Like
Yeah, helps the channel, and you know, helps this one. Yeah. Also, my daughter Bella is starting a channel too. She loves watching me do these videos, and she gets excited. Yeah, and if you guys want to, you know, watch any more of these, let me know if you like this format too. Of it was like supposed to be kind of like a Which Card Wednesday, like which card should you get next, but it kind of turned into every type of question, which is cool too. But yeah, if you like this format.
Yeah.
Come in.
Subscribe in this channel.
Yeah, that's right. What she said. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna take off, spend some time with the family.
Yeah.
I hope you liked it.
Like it.
Yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.
And have your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
David driving.
Thank you so much, guys. See you later.